James. And good morning, everyone here. And thank you to you guys for still staying at Conviction this afternoon of day 2 to together with all these things with guests today. And I believe that our upcoming sharing is quite familiar with all of you guys, especially for Vietnamese users. So first of all, I'm Lin. I'm the partnership lead of Ivy, one of the media publishers in Vietnam that have been together with you guys in the 2017. So I will be the moderator today. So let's kindly introduce about the Gabe Aronovich from the P3. Yeah, please give this guy an applause first. The next two is about, hold on, the next two is about the policy from the Kaia. And the third guest here is about the Williams. So I will spend a little time for each of guests here to introduce about himself. Yeah, first, you can do first.
Thank you so much, appreciate it. Thanks for Conviction for having us. So I am Gabe and I head go-to-market for B3. We are one of the largest ecosystems on base. We have a focus on gaming, but we are an open app layer for consumers. We started about a year ago. Our ethos is core gaming because gaming is a great Trojan horse to allow regular Web2 users to enter our industry, Web3. So we do that with various developer tools and SDKs that we've built to make it really easy for builders to build onto our chain.
That's so great, and nice to have you guys today. And how about you guys, Paulo?
Hello. So thanks for having me.
Yes.
I'm Paulo. I lead the consumer and gaming section of Kaia. Kaia is a layer 1. Our parent companies were Kakao and Line. So essentially, it's a mobile-first strategy. So over the last year, we've been doing launching games on Line Messenger itself. Pretty similar to, I guess, what our other guests are doing. And but with a focus on Asia. So yeah, I mean, I can't wait to share more. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And share something about yourself, like Williams.
Hi, thanks, Lynn. And I appreciate for your introduction. And now, before the first thing that I want to say something in Vietnamese, please. Mọi người ơi, ở đây mọi người có thích game không ạ? Thích game giơ tay lên đi ạ. Yes, you see that. I asked him, I asked them in Vietnamese that do they love the game? And you see that in Vietnam we love game, and I'm the man who addicted game from very young. I'm like a lot of game from Pokemon and something like this. Yes, and so that I chose the gaming industry in VNG. VNG is the #1 for game distribution in Vietnam. And after that, I love crypto. And I joined crypto with the role to build a game platform, game distribution for 98. And thanks God, I can sit here and share with you guys my thinking, my experience, and learn from you guys.
Awesome. And I see that this guy here show a difference of roles in different countries. So I just want to hear about your perspective about the current state of Web3 gaming, and what do you think that is the biggest change of Web3 games in the last 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, sure. I think the biggest change is we're starting to get real builders and real games. It takes a while to build good games, and I think for the longest time we had a lot of what we call extractive games. What's weird before Web3, before crypto, games were just, you didn't play bad games. If you felt a game was bad, you didn't play it. You only played good games. And then with crypto, with the incentive layer, now you have people playing what are bad games, but for some incentive. And I think that has created a really weird divide. And I think we're starting to see that change because we're getting a lot of Web 2 builders and other Web 3 builders building better product.
Yeah, I think. And what do you have any other thinking, or you agree with the Gap about the current state of game, the Paulo?
Yeah, I mean, it changed a lot, right? So we're seeing a shift where there's real games, But I'm not sure about real non-extractive players as well, right? So I'm sure you would agree. But I think we're probably getting there. I think maybe our hope is to really blur the line between what Web 2 and Web 3 is so that people don't necessarily care. I'm not sure how to separate that from the reward incentive layer, because once you put that in, it's very difficult to divorce it from people that want to extract value instead of inject value into it. So I think while many things have changed over the years, we still haven't figured out if it's even possible to really keep the incentive layer or ditch it.
Yes. Yeah, and how about William?
I think I have some keyword for current state of Web3 gaming. The first is more stabilization, and yeah, it's more stabilization. It's escape from the FOMO and high cycle. I don't know it's good or bad, because if gaming have more FOMO, we have more project and we have more revenue stream, something like this. But in the other way, I think it's good for it because it's just some guy who really love game and want to buy something new in game to stay here. And the final keyword that we still finding the way. Honestly, up to now, I in my personal view that the clear way to make a game, to distribution game, I don't have it the clear way. So sorry to say about it. In the Web 2 gaming, we have very clear. We have the framework. We have everything. But now in Web 3, we try, and I think we here is a pioneer to this and find a way. And we have to prove that beside the Web 2 gaming, what the Web 3 gaming, what we have to do, what we can to do, and what we can, the really thing that we can bring to our audience, our user. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. And we keep talking about the Web 2 gaming and Web 3 gamings. So when circling back about the Web 2, I want to highlight one of the vital roles that the game publishers. It's almost that the game publisher who can covers all more of things in helping game scaling. I mean in terms of distribution, the marketing, the user acquisition, but it seems that the story is kind of different in the Web3 gaming. So what do you think, why it's so different, or why the publisher is under-developer in Web3 gaming?
Yeah, so in Web 2, like Web 2 publishers, traditionally, it takes them a year, 2 years, sometimes even longer for AAA games to make back their money, the return on investment. Well, like I said before, we have a lot of Web3 builders for a very long time. We're building what I call milk because it spoils so quickly. It's short, it's not long shelf life product. So Web2 publishers are looking at our industry and are saying, I don't want to enter that because so much of that product, I don't know if it'll last. And for me to make my money back, it's going to take some time. So now we're seeing that change, right? We're seeing Web 2 builders and Web 3 builders start building with, much longer timelines and milestones and products that we expect to last for longer periods of time, real games. And now we're starting to see those publishers look into the industry and say, oh, there is an opportunity here. So we think that over the next years, we're going to see that explode.
Yeah, we hope that too. So how about you guys? Paulo, you keep sharing your idea?
The question is publisher.
Yeah, because I want to hear more about your perspective about the role of game publisher, especially in the Web3 gaming.
Yeah, I don't think we have many yet, if at all, right? In web, no publishers yet. So right, so I think in Vietnam we have Apota. I think one famous publisher here. So typically what they do is they take, I don't know, 70, 80, 90% of the revenue because they spend for marketing, right? They spend for localization, they spend for distribution, they put you on Steam, they put you on the App Store, they do most of it. So they take most of the risk in their own capital, and their marketing costs as well. They produce the trailers. Maybe they even fund the development, a little bit of it. So consequently, it's only viable if there is money to be made. Now, the issue with Web3 games so far, not many have been churning good revenue over the last years. And that's probably related to what Gabe said earlier, right? Because a lot of these games give money away to their users instead of inviting good monetization. Right? So I think that will make it difficult for publishers to come in if the revenue is not so, it's not really proven. I mean, there's changes now. We do see some revenue in select games, but it's more common to die out within like 6 months or after token launch, and then, yeah. But yeah, that's my perspective.
I think it's so hard to distribute a game in the Web3. In the Web2, we have the clear framework, and the distributor in the Web2 will have the builder. We can call it builder with the Web3 vibe, the builder who create the game. That is the two kind of builder in the Web2 game. The first is you very big, like a Tencent or something like that in China, and you have the big title, and so that you need a distributor to distribute in some local game. Are you a tiny, you are a very, very small creator, builder, that you need some guy bigger than you who have the good financial to have you run Facebook ad, Google ad, or something like this. But you know, in the Web 2, it have very, very clear, and we have to fix with the Facebook ads, a platform, and something to run ad to get the, and no border, and we have the reach, unlimited reach to get a new user. But in Web 3, we have separate, we have more responsibility. Where if you guys issue a token, you have more responsibility with the user. Your game is not good, you cannot let them die like a Web 2. We have a responsibility with our, so that the first thing. The second thing, we have many, many chains. So that, you know, in Web 2, we don't have chain. Every guy from America, from the USA, from Russia, from Vietnam can play the game. But in the Web 3, the user have to change many, many things. Change the wallet, change the token, that the model token, that gas free, something like many barrier, many chain, and so hard for some guy to be a distributor in the Web 3. I think up to now the best guy to be the distributor in Web 3 is a foundation. Chain foundation, you know, because they have financial, they have the user, something like that, and they need a user, and they use a game to get a user. It's done. But yeah, this is my thing when we compare.
Yeah, thank you. And I think as Paulo and Williams and Gabe was sharing as well, so maybe in the Web 2, we have as a web game publisher to support you guys in terms of the capitals and distribution. But the story in the Web 3, maybe you have a more selection when you bring the game onto the Web 3. So that you want to attract and distribute your game as much as possible. But it seems that there is quite, it's really actually a hard situation for you to reach out to the user and to retain the user engagement with your game. So do you guys have any idea of how it's so struggling in attract new user, or how struggling in distribute or in distribute the game to your user? Why is it so difficult even in Web 3?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's difficult in Web 2, right? Trying to have, look, users have a lot of options, right? There's games everywhere. You know, with mobile apps, you can play on your phone. There's free games on your computer. There's browser-based games. There's, you know, if you have a gaming PC and you like first-person shooters, there's numerous options there as well. So I think one is trying to build a core community, and that usually comes with having something that kind of stickies them, right? Something that core community really likes about your product, about your game, and then building it out from there, right? Listen to your community that is that core group that has been supporting you from the beginning, and go from there. You most people don't have the option that some of the really, really big studios do. You know, they spend tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars producing their games, and of course they're going to look and play amazing, even though many of them have bugs and fail. Most people don't have that option. So I would say really focus on what you want to build, and then find the people that enjoy what you're building, and build that community with them.
Yeah, retention and acquiring users is a problem. Yeah, I agree. I think it's also because in Web3, there's not many investors, right? I mean, especially for games. Compare that to Web2 games. They may have investors, or the publisher fronts a lot of the costs. So if a lot of the costs for the Web3 developer is devoted to development of the product, they may not have enough money for marketing, for acquiring the users. So that also contributes to them having less like inflow, because it's very expensive. What's the cost of acquiring nowadays? $10?
I mean, it really depends on the game.
It really depends on the game, right? If it's hyper
yeah,
casual,
it could be as low as 10 cents.
Correct.
It could be as high as $10.
Yeah. So the hyper casual will be about 10 cents. Yeah, mid-core, high specs will be a lot higher. Yeah, so that's why Web3, we need to be creative with these either culture building or community building initiatives through NFTs or something else to really attract and retain users, or rewards. I mean, that's the most straightforward one. Yeah, I think that's where we are right now. Is it sustainable? It remains to be seen, I guess.
I see. So from your point of view, Williams?
Honestly, I'm facing with this struggle too. Yes, we facing with this struggle too. We're facing with how to recruit new user and keep them, increase retention of the user, something like this. So I totally agree with to my friend. So, but with this question, I think I can turn it, open the box more. That I think Web3 can support for the game, like the way that the game up to now in the Web2 game is so good. We have a lot of title. We have a lot of studio. It can make a good title. It can make good many things, but they need financial. They don't have enough financial to improve or something like this. And if I think to solve the problem, we can have more than the one way that we create something. We can have something to create the new thing, the good thing from Web2. And with the token, with the funding, with the token in Web3, we can to be support to be accelerator for the Web2 studio to publish many good games. After that, the first we can get a user, and after that we can turn them to Web3 or something like this. So because with me, I don't think all of our game need the blockchain. Or don't any game need a blockchain. Some theater, some title, and some kind need a blockchain. So we can support for the Web2 from the funding. We have a lot of funding and more easy than in the traditional market. Yes, I think it's a new way. I think I want to open the box.
I noted that Willy has mentioned one word in his previous sharing, that is change and infrastructures. And you can see that there is an emergence of more and more layer 1, layer 2, and even the old chains of the game that has been like appeared to support the game and distribute the games. So it seems that more and more game or game studio can do it by themselves in terms of publishing or promoting games. So what is the risk and opportunities of building the old chains? Or you can have other infrastructure like layer 1, layer 2 to support you in scaling and in publishing the game onto Web3. So what are the risks and opportunities?
Yeah, so I think if you are going to go with an older chain, let's say, right? I think that's a barrier, to be honest, because you are building in what is very much a crypto Web3 space. Right now, interoperability is the main thing. Like at B3, there is no wallet connections. There is no signing, right? We are going after the Web2 user. So Web2 builders can build on our chain, and that game is on chain. They don't need to know Solidity. They don't need to know Web3 or crypto. The user should never know if this is a Web2 game or a Web3 game. And I think that now we're going to start seeing, our chain, other chains make that change. So a regular user can just enter, play whatever game they want, and they don't have to be inundated with wallet connection or anything crypto. A Web2 user does not does not know the difference between Unreal and Unity. They don't care. Is the game built with that database or this database? They don't care. So that's how the Web3 community should be. We use this as a technology layer. It is a better layer, so we should use that, but we shouldn't push that in the user's face. The user doesn't need to know the technology behind the game.
Yeah, I fully agree. I don't think, for us, we also abstract every single action on chain. I think to your question I think your question was if chains are becoming publishers. Was that it? Strictly speaking, I'm not sure if I'm gatekeeping, but I really want to hold this term publisher at a high regard. So if you're a publisher, you really have to take care of marketing and distribution, maybe translation, all the legal stuff as well. And so it's not something I want to throw out easily. I wouldn't call ourselves a publisher. I wouldn't dare. It's probably maybe as a distribution layer or a partner would be good. And besides, like most foundations, they would give you, I don't know, between $10,000 to $500,000, maybe, for a grant. That's not going to be enough, you see? Your burn rate will be, I don't know, anywhere from 10K to 100K a month. Yeah, so a 100K grant will give you maybe a month for a high-spec game with a US-based team. So the only added value for chains then would be on the tech side, like what Gabe said, and navigating payments, navigating through different engines, the crypto logins and whatnot, everything to be extracted for the user. And maybe some yield-based stuff, but apart from that, it could be a distribution layer. Like for Kaia, we have the line integration, right? So if you are in Japan, Taiwan, Thailand, where you use the messenger, you can just play the game immediately in your hands, right? So that's one perk of doing it. But apart from that, it would be challenging, I think.
Yeah, maybe you will still need the time to see what is real, the risk, opportunities, or else. So about the Willy, so what is the risks and opportunities? Because I do believe that you build your own games, so I think you clearly know about that.
I think build game is only the game you build only the game is a rigged games, because you now in the Web 2 it's a lots of game. When you design what game to build, what game to create, is the first grid, and you have to decide about it. And with the Web3, you have to decide in order that what chain you have to go with, and you have bet again. If you can together, if you can collab with the good chain, they have a clear direction, they have the good, they know how they can get the user, like the Kaia, something they have very rapid growth. Yes, I know that with the Kaia. But if you make wrong decision and you choose for the wrong chain, yeah, you can get double X worst, And the first is risk, and but and with the support of the foundation, chain foundation, so you can go okay, you can go significant in the very first time. After that, what next? When you talk with the foundation that, hey, I want to expand another chain, maybe the foundation will not support you as much as before. Yes, and you have to train in about it. Many things too. Okay? So with me, I hope and I think in the future, the barrier of the chain will not exist, and the game maybe because the game for everyone. I love the game for everyone. Everyone can play the game, not belong to any chains. Sorry to say this, but I think so. When we get it, we just get it, and we can grow significant, and we can mass adoption.
So I think that could be the most ideal scenarios that we all hope for. So suppose that we have a layer one chain, you have the app chains and infrastructures. Do you believe that all the game, we can fully bring the game on chains? That is every aspect of web game onto the Web3. What do you believe that we can do that or not?
Yeah, I would think so. I want to. I think that gamers, depending on the type of gamer, but like real gamers who play, maybe first-person shooters, RPGs, MMOs, right? They really understand the value of an inventory, owning their items. It's like core to the gaming mentality. Trading card games, you own the things, right? You own the cards. So I would love to have a game like a World of Warcraft or a huge MMO where every single aspect is on chain and then removable from the game and traded outside of it. I think we are headed in that direction. People are building that already, and I think that is what will lead us into more publishers. In regards to the thing that you mentioned before, we are also testing kind of publishing on our chain to see if that's possible and what we can do. And we see that the builders that are building, let's just call better games, we are more willing to fund them because we feel like we will make our money back.
Yeah, so your answer is yes. So
Definitely.
Yeah, what about you, Paulo?
I'll have to define what a fully on-chain game means.
I mean that fully on-chains mean you print every access, every action, every game mechanism that would be counted on blockchain. Is that already clear, or do you have any
No.
other definition?
No,
of
it's
that?
fine, it's fine, it's fine. There are some games that do this. There's some parody videos as well, where every time they open a chest, then they have to sign something, So, I mean, if you can get away with all that, if that can be abstracted out, it's possible. But my question would then be, I mean, if I were the studio, then that means that I will have to subsidize every action, the gas fee transaction. And if the chain that I'm using is very cheap, it's possible. It's possible. But
Yeah.
what would the advantage be to make it on-chain, though? Except if it's like inventory. Anything payments related. But if I open the portal to a new world, does it have to be if I click and then there's a loading screen, is that an on-chain action? If I switch guns, can that be an on-chain action?
Yeah.
Sure, you know what I mean? Because some games are doing that. Like once you switch modes, it's
Exactly.
an on-chain action. Yeah. So I would go back to revenue. Will I earn more revenue if I make it on-chain? Will the chain pay for it? Or will the ecosystem pay for it if there's more transactions? Like an incentive model? Then I guess that would work.
Yeah, so as mentioned, that could be the most ideal scenario, right? Yeah. And your answer is yes or no, Willy?
In technical, is yes.
Yeah.
In technical, but I think I have the same thing with Paulo. So, but I think my question again, my question back is why we need on-chain. Because now in the market, the game dominant with the user is hyper casual and casual. Vietnamese has a lot of studio in top 10 of Google Play and App Store for the user, and all of them is hyper casual and casual. Hyper casual and casual, that means you just play along. You play along. Many times you don't need the internet too much about it, and you know many title with the huge user, they store the data in local device, not in internet. So that I think with that kind of game, we don't need fully on-chain. But with the kind of game that the asset of user like MMORPG or something like that, with the very high value, the one asset is the value count by 10K to 20K, something like this. You need fully on-chain to protect the asset, is the first. The second, I think that's that's my point. But I have some worry about the on-chain that because up to now the Web3 gaming don't facing with the stress test like the Web2. In the Web2, the game like MMORPG or something is have many guys in one battle. You can count 10K, 20K, a lot of guys to choose one battle in the same time, and they have you many skill. One guy push many skill and push you many filters, something like this. I think Web3 don't have any kind of game, any title have the stress test like this. So we have to wait for it. But in technical, I think this, and with the guy who love technology, I love to see the fully on-chain. But what type and what kind of game we need?
So I believe that somehow you should put the game qualities on the top of the table to attract user. And I see that there is an interesting difference between the Web2 and Web3 games. When mentioning about the Web2 games, we have to build a physical game first, and then we attract the game user, and then we're building the communities. But in Web3, somehow we can see that there is one, like, I think quite renowned brand, like Budgie Bankings. They build the IV first. They build their available communities. Thousands of people around the world love the names of PUBG Banking, even though that they haven't played the game. So it's somehow the IBs come first, and the game physically comes second or later. So do you think that the IB model can become the dominant strategies in terms of Web3 gaming?
Dominant? No way. Could it happen? Absolutely. It's happened with Pudgy Penguins. Pudgy Penguins is like a unicorn in that sense, right? They have a huge community. Their NFTs do really great. They were able to get their merchandise inside of big box stores like Walmart. The chance that someone is able to replicate that is so small. I think that to try to use that as a model, as say like I want to do it like Pudgy Penguins, is like trying to build a computer company and say I want to build it like Apple. It's just not likely. I think what you should probably end up doing is follow the community first model, you know, and if you're able to build a community that's strong enough that wants to buy your toys and your NFTs and then you want to follow up with a game, great. Pudgy Penguins didn't set out to build a game. You know, they didn't have that in their mind at first. It was like, we're going to be a game company. No, they were a community with NFTs and other things like toys. So yeah, I would not use them as a model to try to build a game.
Yeah, what he said. No, it's well, it's a viable strategy. Like for Kaia, we have IPs already, like Baby Shark, Ragnarok, Plants vs Zombies, and I don't know, Astro Boy, a bunch, right? But the insight here is they're not the ones with the most revenue as well. Yeah, actually, in my experience, as long as the game is fun, and you have very aggressive, not really aggressive, but sensible monetization strategies, that's not too, overwhelming for the user, you will be successful, and you will have pretty good inflow of cash. It's a way to acquire users, but it's another cost as well, because you have to pay royalties, right? And you have to make sure that legally they're okay, right? Which is difficult. Web2 IP owners don't really want to give out their IPs in Web3. Pudgy Penguins worked because it was a Web3 IP first. And they're also distributing their games on Web3 users first. So it's a different story. I don't think it's not the same equation. Yeah. I'm not sure how successful the games are right now.
I don't think that,
Yeah, exactly. So this is recorded. Yeah, but no. So it's a good play, but the pool is very small. You see, you have to reach, but they have a good vision because they want to reach Web2 users through IPs, right? But if you're targeting Web3 gamers, it's not gonna do well. Yeah.
I see.
IB is my dream. And I think IB is is the dream of any guys who work in the entertainment and gaming industry. Not the game, the film, the comic, the many guys love to build the IB, but not too much guys can do it is the first. And before you can build the IB, because you can touch your dream, you have to leave first. So that, and and you have to have revenue first. So I don't think IB will be dominant strategy. It cannot. And one more plus that when you have nothing guarantee that when you have the good IB, you will win. Many examples say that we have the Marvel, the very big IB, but their game don't work much. We have many titles, we have many IP. Yes, now up to now we see the IB gaming is good, just Pokemon, something like this. Not much, and IB is not a guarantee, is not the silver bullet for game. It's not.
So I think attracting user by the game itself is one approach, and attracting user by the technology inside the game is another approach. And of course, attracting user with some IB models or some counters, some communities incentives are also a smart or intelligent approaches. So I think it was up to the each project strategy to see. So I think I have asked you several questions about the game. So I think my last question is about your anticipation about the game, especially the Web3 gamings in the upcoming 2 or 3 years. So just want to hear more about some futuristic thinking.
Yeah, I think, like I mentioned before, I think over the next few years, we're not going to be talking about Web 2 or Web 3 gaming. I think it'll just be gaming. And everything will be abstracted away enough where, if I showed a user the same game built on on Unreal 5 and Unreal 4, and I said, which one's better? They're always going to say the one that's Unreal 5. And I think that in the next few years, we're going to see the same thing happen without them knowing. It's just the game plays better, the experience is better, when it's on chain, when specific aspects are on chain. And I do agree with Will in regards to not every game. If you have a simple game that's offline, what's the purpose of it being on chain? People don't want those assets because they're not a multiplayer game. There's no reason to trade. There's nothing there. But the games that are multiplayer and other kind of games that do make sense to be online, I think will be on chain without anyone ever knowing.
Yeah, maybe just to add on a different angle would be, you see, it rose early here in Vietnam because of Axie, right? That was 2021. That was play to earn. With Catizen, like a year or two back, that was play for airdrop, right? So what's the meta now? I think it's buy an NFT, mine something, and maybe have an airdrop. So to answer your question, strictly speaking, I think there will still be a form of this in the future. It will just be something, there will be another reward layer, but we'll just be creative about it. It's not going to be play to earn. It's not going to be play for airdrop. Maybe it's, I don't know, earn to play. I don't know. So I think that will always be there. But I think like what Gabe has also said, like even in B3, even in Kaia, we have a lot of good quality games now. So we've come a long way. So we will see more decent builders come into play. But we really have to make sure first that maybe this year and next year, we have to find out if games can actually make money or not. Web3 games. So this is the crucial period. For the next year or two, we can see them earn money. Then GameFi will not necessarily die. It will evolve. It will attract publishers, like what Gabe said. If not, it'll be tough. Yeah.
Yeah. Let the time say, right?
I think in next 2 or 3 years, we will see 1 or 2 AA title. I hope that, because I know some guys, some very big guys from Web2 and Web3 already build the big title. So I hope them win. I hope them success for push on of our market, our category too. The second, I think the infrastructure for the gaming will evolve, continue evolving. I think so. And the third, yes, like Paulo said, that I think the game have to prove it. We have to prove it. We can make money, and we have to find a way to do it. Not only get the money to only sell something like NFT or token, something like this, the right way. I think so. Yes.
Yeah, I can see that all the three distinguished guests here do believe in the futures of Web3 gaming, and we can see that the gaming is still plays a vital role in the Web3 pictures. And we do believe that when the gaming and technology intertwines with each other to become a more comfortable, more accessible gateway for both the Web3 industry and both the gamers to go into in the upcoming futures, that is, we can both funny, can profitable, and we can have a more easier gateway for the user to get to know more about the Web3 industry. So anyways, here, I appreciate that all of you guys have sharing today, and hope that on the audience here have a more perspective and interesting insight about the Web3 gaming, and do hope that you guys just wait and see how the Web3 gaming developed. Thank you guys for listening, and once again, please give applause to all distinguished guests today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.